Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. Well, it's Monday, which means we're going to be talking about the Supreme Court and all of the various so-called assault weapons and magazine ban cases that are currently before the Supreme Court that had conference last Thursday. The report came out this morning. Let's talk about what happened. Now, real quick, some of you might not be aware that I used to have a second channel. It was called Copper Jacket News. Now, I haven't posted anything over there in the last couple years, so I decided to revive that channel and rename it. It's now called the 1376 Project because I realized that there are a lot of topics that I want to talk about that don't all fit on this channel. So over there, we're going to be talking about Second Amendment related topics and more. Things that are happening across this country that might drive me nuts, like the proposed 30-cent per mile gas tax in the state of California. That's going to be over there as well. So if you guys are interested, subscribe to the 1376 Project. The link will be down in the description box, and we're going to have some interesting stuff over there as well. So with that being said, let's get to the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So every Monday, I've been making a video about the so-called assault weapons bans and magazine bans that are currently sitting before the Supreme Court. Each time they go to conference on Thursday, we wait for that report to be released on the following Monday. Now, this last Thursday was the fourth time that all of these cases made it to conference. Now, there were a lot of people that were skeptical about what would happen. I myself was kind of excited because I felt like this was the time that the Supreme Court was going to take one of these cases. As a matter of fact, Bruen, when that went up to the Supreme Court, that was accepted on the fourth time that it made it to conference. So again, I still had hope. However, this morning the report was released, and it looks like we have all of the cases once again being pushed to conference this Thursday, which means that we're not going to know anything else until the following Monday. Now, there's a lot of speculation happening around this. People are sort of guessing as to what's going to happen. Obviously, without being in the chambers with the Supreme Court justices, there's no way for us to know exactly what could happen. I do want to play this quick clip. This is from Hannah Hill. She is the director of the National Association for Gun Rights, and this is kind of her take on what's happening over there and what potentially could happen. So let's just play this real quick.
First off, no news is always good news, because any day the Supreme Court doesn't reject our case keeps alive the possibility that they could ultimately grant certiorari. And that is what we're hoping for. There is certainly the possibility that they keep relisting it because someone is writing a denial from cert and that they're going to reject it as soon as that is finished. That's certainly a possibility. You're going to see a lot of speculation on that. But the reality is, no one who's not in the room actually knows. And we're all speculating. We're all looking at the statistics and everything, but we don't know. And we won't know until the Supreme Court actually does something. There's also the option that the Supreme Court is waiting until after they issue their Rahimi ruling. We've been hopeful all along that they would provide some clarification on how to apply Bruen's tests, especially in light of how uniformly the lower courts are trampling it for the most part. If they do that, then they could issue Rahimi and then reverse and kick back a lot of the Second Amendment cases that are now pending and say, all right, now go back and do what we did here. Follow our instructions here. A go and do thou likewise kind of ruling. Assuming Rahimi is what we hope it will be, that actually wouldn't be a bad option. So right now, we hope and we wait. The South Carolina motto, that's my home state, is while I breathe, I hope. And until the Supreme Court actually takes action, that is what we are doing.
So you heard her mention Rahimi. Rahimi is a case that's currently before the Supreme Court that we're waiting on an opinion for, and we're hoping that that actually comes out fairly soon. If Rahimi provides clarification to the lower courts on how they're supposed to apply Bruen, basically what she's saying is that they could get GVR'd back down to the lower courts, basically with instructions on how to correctly apply Bruen, because we see that it's being misinterpreted in a lot of cases, I think on purpose, and that it's being misunderstood in some cases as well. And so any type of clarification on Bruen, which we know would force these bans to be overturned, would be a big deal. So there are several good things that could happen and only one bad thing, really bad thing that can happen. And the bad thing obviously would be that maybe on the fifth conference, that they would just simply deny cert for these cases, and then that would be the end of it. And that would mean that the lower court's decisions would basically hold up, and we'd be in some hot water then. So again, there's still good things that could happen from this. It's still possible that they could end up taking these cases, even though the chances of that have decreased and it's really hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel now. We still have to keep up hope. So anyway, I just want to let you guys know about that, and if you guys are interested, make sure you check out the NAGR over on Twitter. Always really good information, and Hannah Hill is extremely intelligent and somebody worth listening to. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day.